In this episode, you will meet one of our purchasing agents who has since moved on to pursue other opportunities. We wish him all the best, but felt it was important for this episode to air because you will get a glimpse into the life of other purchasing agents within Frederick County Public Schools. Hi, I'm Eric, and today I'm at the District Office for Frederick County Public Schools. FCPS takes great pride in being stewards of taxpayer funding. We rely on a small but talented group of individuals to make sure that we're wisely spending those dollars. Let's go meet a member of the team. So today we're here with Shane, a purchasing agent 1 and 2 for Frederick County Public Schools. Shane's been one of our team members for the past 5 years. Shane, thank you so much for allowing us a little bit of time with you here today. Can you tell us, what did you do before you came to FCPS?
Before FCPS, I was an inventory management specialist with a company, and then also I did some AR and billing.
Okay. So what made you come to FCPS?
Just knowing family's background and just wanting to be in a solidified, government agency and help students.
Okay, awesome. You said help students, and we'll talk about that in a little bit because that's an important part of what you do, even though your title is Purchasing Agent 1 and 2. Tell us a little bit about what that means.
Basically, on a daily basis, I'm approving purchases, mainly for elementary schools, and then also contract management, helping contracts that we have in place through different departments throughout the system.
So what are the types of purchases that we're making as a school system that you're approving?
It could be any materials of instruction, it could be for art supplies, it could be for physical education supplies, and then anything in transportation, and then also some janitorial supplies that we use through the warehouse.
Okay. So why is it that a school just can't make that purchase? Why does it have to come through, you work with a team of individuals, why does it have to come through this team?
It's because of the purchasing regulations through the state of Maryland. So we have certain thresholds that once we reach that annual spend, that we need to have that under contract. So we put the solicitations in place so those purchases can happen.
Okay. And do you all just let schools purchase, for example, you said art supplies. Can they just purchase from anyone, or is there a vetting process that has to go through?
So we've actually, we'll either piggyback a contract from another local educational agency to utilize their vendors, or we'll use our own solicitation and create a market basket of items that we will purchase through and solicit vendors and award contracts.
Now, we know that in FCPS, we are stewards of taxpayer dollars. We want to make sure we spend them responsibly. So kind of talk a little bit about the process that goes through for selecting a vendor and the role that you play in that process.
Yeah, absolutely. So we can either normally we run either 2 different types of solicitations, just a bid, which can be, which we normally award under maybe just low cost, or in another situation we could do a request for proposal where we would award it on a technical and a cost basis, try to find the best value for FCPS and what they can bring to us.
Okay. So how long does that process take from beginning to end, depending on what it is that we're purchasing?
Normally, the solicitation has to be on the street for a minimum of 20 days. So it normally between putting on the street, going through the solicitation process, and then making a recommendation to the board, it can normally take about just about 2 months.
So you talked about a process that is involved in that, and you said it takes about 2 months. Why does it take so long to make sure that we're using our dollars responsibly?
So basically, when we bring in the solicitations, we need to have an evaluation period. So during that time, like I spoke to earlier, we'd have the cost evaluation and/or a cost and technical evaluation to ensure we've looked everything correctly and we're making the proper recommendation to the Board of Education.
Awesome. So how closely are you working with a school or with another department in the organization?
It really depends on the need of the department. For instance, I work with Food Nutrition Services almost on a weekly basis or monthly basis to get kitchen equipment quoted out through our contracts. So really, it's just based on the need and how often they need to make purchases.
Okay. Now, you mentioned the Board of Ed approving, and I've seen you on TV before. Can you talk a little bit about that process and what's involved with you going before the board to talk about the work that you do and purchases that we're going to make, or to get approval for purchases that we're going to make in the school system.
Yeah, absolutely. So when we run through that solicitation process and the evaluation is complete, I'll put together some documentation showing the board or telling the board what we've done, how we went through the process, and kind of give them a summary about how we maybe scored it, and then ask for approval for the contract for a certain time period.
And I know that you're part of this process along with our board and those that are actually making the request for the purchase, but we're also looking at, aside from just getting the lowest cost, what are the services that are provided by whatever item it is that we're purchasing. So for example, if it's a tech product, are there other services like customer service, in-house support, those types of things that we're looking at that go alongside purchasing that particular item?
Absolutely. So we will evaluate a vendor on, how many employees you maybe have, what your customer support team is like. Do you have 24-hour customer service? What else can you bring to FCPS rather than just the service? So again, like you said, it's not always about the low cost. There can be other attributes or things that are considered.
Awesome. We'll make sure we get the most for our money.
Absolutely.
Shane and the team he serves with vet the best price, service, and products for our school system. Shane relayed to me that the team of purchasing agents are essential support in looking over bid items, making sure there are no mistakes, and collaborating with the team to make sure nothing is missing. It is a checks and balances system to make sure everyone is on the right page as far as the numbers are concerned. Shane shared, in the event a bid item is not approved by the Board of Education, he and the team will reach back out for solicitation with the goal of going through the process to bring value to FCPS. A rebid and recommendation would then be presented to the board. What Shane does on a daily basis is essential to Frederick County Public Schools. So Shane, we've talked a lot about what you do in working with other departments, looking at bids and vendors, but I also know something else about you. In your almost 5 years as an FCPS employee, although your time is primarily in our Central District office, you also have spent time mentoring students in our schools. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so on a weekly basis for about 2 years, I met with a few different students, just to check in, see how everything is going, make sure they're doing well in school, and just provide any support I can in any way I can for the students.
So you're a budget analyst 1 and 2. And so in your job description, it doesn't talk about going out and working with students and mentoring students. Why is that something you believe is important to do?
Because I think that's the ultimate goal of FCPS, is we're here ultimately for everything that we do is for the students. So whether or not I'm here on the back end, or if I can take some time out of my day to have a larger impact on the student's day, I'm going to take that opportunity to do so.
And we really appreciate that. It's a good example for all of us in FCPS, whether we're in a school or whether we're working out in an office. Our ultimate goal is to support our students each and every day. Why is your job, why is your role essential to the work that we do here in FCPS?
Well, because we are trying to be stewards of taxpayers' money, the solicitation process ultimately allows me to feel that I got the best value, or I'm putting a contract in place that I know that we could be the most efficient and most effective school system in order to weed out any concerns, basically just go about your day with no issues.
And if we're not responsible stewards of those dollars, ultimately who does it impact?
It impacts the students because the money won't go as far. So ultimately, I want to make sure that we have a lot of savings in different areas so we can spread out the money as far as possible.
Shane, we really appreciate everything that you do as an essential member of the FCPS team. Thank you for allowing us to spend a little bit of time with you today.
Well, thank you.
Wow. Taking a look at the process that Shane and his team goes through every day to ensure that we're responsible stewards of taxpayer funding is mind-boggling. A lot of numbers there, but we're so fortunate to have an excellent team of individuals that are on it every day, making sure that we use those dollars to ultimately do what's best for our students and our staff. We are so fortunate in FCPS to have individuals, whether they're working in schools or whether they're working at the district office, that also go out and spend time working with our students and mentoring our students. It really shows that each of us plays an essential role in ultimately making sure we're doing what's best and providing the best opportunities and environment for each and every student in FCPS. Thanks again for joining us today. Until next time, please take care of each other, take care of yourselves. Be well, everyone.